Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Leaf's Odyssey. So, since the previous episode, I spent probably about 45 minutes playing around with this room, and I managed to suss out a number of the things that were going on in it. But it was clear to me that it was going to take more time and effort than I was willing to put into it. So I watched Alex's developer commentary of this last room to figure out how it goes. I'd actually figured out most of the main things, so let's just kind of like talk through them. So there's a sacrifice altar here that will drop a monster block onto some hot coals so that it will die. There's also a monster block over here that will get dropped on hot coals if something presses this pressure plate. And it doesn't take too much effort to pretty much surmise that it's going to be a slug that's going to have to walk over there and step on that pressure plate at some point. And there's another monster block over here that can only die if something steps on this pressure plate. This pressure plate is very hard to get into. You could imagine either a bomb bug exploding a block diagonally, except these are block barriers, so that's not going to happen. Or there's a statue, and statues can move diagonally. And I actually spent a bit of time playing with trying to get the statue over there. I guess we can just kind of like witness. Like the statue will pursue me quite aggressively if I try to go over here. And so he's going to kind of beat me to the punch. But I imagined if I had some flying snake wingmen, that I would be able to... Can I get them easily right now? I could probably do that. So there's going to be some lasers firing and some different things. Don't worry about it. So suppose I had some flying snake wingmen and also grab the statue, but let's imagine I had a little bit more space in the wingmen for reasons. So, are you guys both going to follow me? You will now. Okay, so I've got two wingmen behind me, and if I get them going north here, if they're both going north here, it looks pretty good, except... in terms of turn order, the statue is enemy number 6, and the flying snakes are 13 and 14. If this guy had been later in the turn order, and I went left, these guys would move up first, and he would continue sliding up here, and I would be able to get over to this corner and then get over here and get him up there. But it doesn't work this way. It almost does, and I've tried a number of variations. This is also an interesting area. You can kind of make a little bit of a U-turn around the statue here, because... there's places here where it's like, nobody can attack you if I wait. Oh, there's an angry eye that could attack me. Previously, I also had pushed some monster blocks over here to, like, block out this area while I was playing around with this idea. You can kind of make the statue do a little U-turn in there or something, but I couldn't make it work, and it's because it doesn't work there. What else is going on? The slug is surrounded by angry eyes, and it was clear to me, after looking at it, that the only way that I was going to be able to get an angry eye to get killed was to drag the bomb bug over here. There's monster blocks that you need. You need to use a monster block in this row all the time, because if the monster block is not here in this row, then the angry eyes end up shooting the slug as you're walking between the north end of the puzzle and the south end of the puzzle. So you always need a monster block in this row. You also need monster blocks in other places at different points, both to chase and kind of unchase the bomb bug as you're trying to get it down here. I never managed to get a bomb bug exactly where I needed it, but now that I've seen Alex do it, I think I could repeat that. The other issue with getting the bomb bug is when I walk over here, oh look, the statue is coming at me, and that's not great for me. Because the statue will pursue you relentlessly, and I do eventually need to... The statue is gonna be the guy who gets killed on the altar. You can't push blocks on the altar because there's block barriers all around them. The bong bug needs to die over here. The slug needs to get over here. The flying snakes need to be wingmen, and then they're gonna end up dying over here in their wingman stuff, I think. So the statue needs to die here. What I did not see when I was looking at the puzzle on my own is the purpose of this, which is it provides a place. Let's do... I'm not sure if this is good to do, but I'm going to do this just so I can walk up and down here without having to worry about angry eyes seeing me. what I did not see is that there's a place over here that lets the statue get trapped and lets you spend a lot of time playing with the puzzle down here, for example, working on the bug bomb, while the statue is basically kind of out of commission. And so that's something I didn't see on my own. That's one of the main mechanisms that I didn't see, but it's still non-trivial because you still have to figure out what order to do all the things in, even if you know all the parts. So now, based on memory, after watching Alex walk through the puzzle, I'm going to try to do the puzzle. So, I need to get the bomb bug out, and I need to get the statue trapped. So, I think if I just run over here and get the bomb bug seeing me... Now the statue already got around, so how do I get the bomb bug to see me? Is there a way for me instead to get the bomb bug to see me over here? No. Can I trap the statue around here somehow? I already don't remember at the beginning of the puzzle. What was the magic that Alex used to get the bomb bug out? Can I trap the statue over here briefly? No. Okay, I don't think it took Alex many moves, so how did he do it? Yes, of course. I can put the statue off by putting a sightline blocker here, and that enables Leaf to come over here and get the monster, or get the bomb bug coming this way, but now he's afraid of those blocks. And that's okay. He can be afraid of them for a while, and then we can get him over here, and then he can be scared down there for a while, which is also okay. Basically, we want to kind of drop him off in the corner. And at this point, I think I am safe now that the bomb bug is out of that corner. I think I could come back over here, wake up the statue, and get the statue, get the statue trapped in this corner, and then the statue's just going to hang out there for a little while until I do some other stuff. So, other stuff. Let's get the... Leaf does not look very tasty to you right now, because you're very scared. So let's try to get you less frightened. And so perhaps a good way to do that would be push this one to the right. I could still get over there. Yeah, that seems nice, except for you're going there now. It would be nice to have you off the bottom row. Okay, so now I can bring the bomb bug further to the left. Once again, it's going to get scared by another monster block. But that's okay. I can bring it back up one if I need to. And so... I eventually want to get it like all the way in the corner. And I can mostly do that because I think at this point it's okay to push this monster block all the way over here, where it becomes pacified. And a mechanic that we haven't seen yet, I don't think, is that the bomb bug is no longer scared of the pacified monster block. But I don't think we necessarily need to take advantage of that mechanic while we're doing stuff right now anyway. Because I think this will chase you all the way into the corner. That's... I would prefer you to be a little bit farther to the north, actually. And I can make that happen. Great. Okay. So, now the bomb bug is basically over in that corner. And he's going to... Oh, watch what happens here. He's now starting to go south. Why is he going south, you might ask? There's monster blocks that are still alive up here that are chasing him into the corner. That's fine, he can sit there for a little bit. Now that that has been done, we'll be able to fetch the bomb bug later. But now is the phase of the puzzle where it's actually possible to, with the statue starting from here, rather than starting from here, that enables me to, on my own time, get the flying snakes out and have them be escorting me from a different number of steps back than they were when I was trying at the beginning of the puzzle. But another thing that's going to cause problems is as I get up into this region when I'm trying to move the statue up here, is we're going to have angry eyes who are trying to shoot us and also try to annihilate the slug, and that's a no-no. So we're going to say no-no to the no-no. And we are going to move another monster block right there. And so now I do have to worry about getting shot in this column, but I can hang out in this column safely. So, with all of that done, now I want to get some wingmen and a statue coming at me and try to solve this bit so that someone finally stands on this plate, which is one of the prerequisites for solving the room. So, I am going to get some flying snakes coming my way. And then I want to make sure they don't get hit by lasers when I go by. And then I think they need to be like somewhere around here. Statue come at me. In order to get the statue to come at me, I have to make a couple of little sidesteppy moves like this. And now I have wingmen, but these wingmen are going to be real bros, and they're ahead of the statue. And so now both of them are ahead of the statue, and so when I try to make a next move, the statue was trying to go northwest, and both snakes were blocking it from going northwest or west, and so the statue had to turn to the north. And now from here, I think I can even kill the snake. Yeah, and the statue's going to end up over there. And then if I go here, the statue tries to go there. There's a laser eye trying to shoot me right now, which is not especially cool. So I can go here, and then I can hang out here, and the statue has stood there. And I think I can kill the other... Can I kill the other flying snake? Let's find out. So, this guy held down a pressure plate which made the toggle floor open up, revealing the hot coals which killed the monster block. Oh wow, outer space. We climbed so far in the tower that we went to outer space. I noticed that at the very end of the previous episode, and I forgot to call it out today. So now, the statue tried to attack me, but was unable to due to pacifism. Similarly, is unable to due to pacifism. This is like the little U-turn I was talking about that I kind of got a taste of when I was exploring on my own. But that enables me to... that's not cool, though. How do I avoid that happening? What if I go here? I don't want that statue to die there. I need him to die on the altar. So how do I make that happen? I get this guy on a cooldown. There we go. And then you can't attack me here because you're on a pacifist block. And now you can just walk back one step behind me and get killed on the altar. By killing this guy on an altar, I've revealed some hot coals here, so if I wait one turn, this monster block dies on the hot coals. Great. Now with all these guys out of the way, now we have free reign to try to get a bomb bug to kill an angry eye so that the slug can escape and we can start trying to escort him up here. So, how do I do that? I need the slug to go upwards. Sorry, the bug bomb to go upwards. So actually I need to be back over here, I believe. So I can do this to walk you upward. Great. That seems good. Then I can walk over here. And yeah, I could just wait here actually, and then blow you up. Now, the slug is going to turn around and start coming this way and start coming this way. And I need to basically turn him to start going up this way so he doesn't get caught in this whole thing. So I need to get a monster block over here pretty quickly. But I also need to make sure that the angry eyes are going to need to get killed and they're going to be harassing things otherwise. So now would be a great time to start getting rid of these foes. Great. Okay, do I have enough time to get the monster block in front of you? Hey, just happened to work out. I don't know exactly. There was definitely some leeway there because I did not start the slug in the optimal timing, but it worked out. Okay, great. So, Slug is now going to the north. Leaf needs... Slug is going to go to the north, but then he's going to try to turn back to the south. And the easiest way to get him on the pressure plate is to chase him with the other monster block up here so that he has to turn around this way. Yes, that's what I want to do. So I want to do this and this. Yeah, and it's okay. I caught you fast enough. I think there's multiple ways to do this section. I was also imagining, like, if the slug came farther down, I could turn him up here and over here. And so long as Leaf was near the exit, he would be able to get by. But in any case, this seems to work. And so if I wait for a bit, Slug stands on this pressure plate, which means the final monster block is going to die. And now the only thing that needs to happen is the Slug needs to die. And I can do that by that. There's still one monster block. That's okay. I can kill it unpoisoned. I was like, why did the door not open? I panicked there for a minute. I thought I'd done things totally wrong. Okay, and so that means I could finally... I stopped Alex's video, so I'm not sure what's up here. So I can finally step up here and see what's up here, but I presume it's the end of the game, so let's look together. Up here we have... Destiny. It's the Tower of Destiny, and here's our destiny. Also, I got a new journal entry added, so obviously we have to take a look at that. Bomb bugs. Probably are not scared away by passive monster blocks. Bomb bug does not flee from pacified monster blocks. Yes. Okay, great. Gotten good at anticipating, for the most part, what's going to appear in the journal. There is a star here. There are also 8 circular pillars. We can witness outer space. Doesn't seem like we can climb any higher. And so presumably I need to touch the star. And I guess this is like end of campaign congratulations. Is there going to be a credits roll? I guess we'll find out. Neat. I like that little tone. Did it really take me 25 hours? Wow. I think this is like episode 29 or 30, the way that I'm recording things. So yeah, that sounds about right. All right, clear time. All rooms explored. All rooms cleared. People had been concerned about explored versus cleared, but there are some rooms that didn't have any monsters to clear in them or whatever, and so... like rooms with keys at the end and different things. I'm not sure. I think it's okay. It feels like there might be like too much information here. I think it's probably okay in terms of that display, but it did seem to confuse some of the viewers. Keys collected, okay. I like the way that the keys gated the macro structure of the campaign and the way that the macro structure of the campaign was put together very much. Room with the most time spent. Final battle, really? Rooms by clear order. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's really cool data, Alex. I love this. So, okay. I'm not sure. Rooms by clear order, rooms by visit order. And so the vertical axis, I guess, is like the amount of time I spent in the room, I think. Rooms by clear order. And then here's overlook points. Can I, how do I switch? Here we go. Rocky Lake, Forbidden Sight. Okay, so then I want, okay, rooms by time spent. So final battle, 3 lanes. Occupational hazard, I guess it's like here. No, I'm not sure. Collateral damage is here. It's showing me like the amount of time and, oh, I see. If I click here, this was patchwork, which took me 35 minutes. Okay, I understand finally what's going on here. Feedback to Alex. I think you could make this wider so that the graph has more space, so that this is not like one... I guess it can't be 2 pixels thick, though, because it would have to be twice as wide, maybe. I really love the idea of what you're doing here with this visualization and capturing all of this data so that I can take a look at it at the end. I'm kind of a data junkie, and so this is fantastic. I love it. And also, I don't know if there's a way for me to like give you feedback. There were occasionally times that I was AFK, so some of these times are not going to be exactly right. But this gives you a sense of the various puzzles Can I press the left arrow? I can. Okay. I should have been using the keyboard rather than the mouse. This gives you a sense of how much time I spent on various puzzles. And so if this is useful feedback for Alex in terms of difficulty stuff, yeah, I feel like that's about right, basically. All the ones I saw over there were ones that I had kind of more trouble with, and then from here on out, these were mostly, I think, kind of okay kind of rooms, and some of them were very easily. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this, and so it's gonna get captured in video, in case it's ever useful. Okay. Neat. So that was rooms by time spent. This is rooms by visit order, and you could do the same thing. So you could see the order that you visited rooms, and around the bend was the first one that gave me any trouble, and then things were going great up until personal space. I remember the name. I can't remember the room right now. It shows me a picture of the room. Yes, down here. I remember this room. And can I click on it? I can't click on it. Alex, it'd be great if I could click on this room to just see the expanded mini-map version or some kind of bigger version. I can see what's here. I'm not sure that viewers of the video would easily be able to see what's here. But this is the one that had like 6 statues and 4 bomb bugs in it and a tiny amount of space. And I did not see the correct set of opening moves that made the puzzle possible. And then I didn't really have too much trouble until we got to Sheepdog. Right, one of the slug puzzles. Yeah, then a lot of slug puzzles gave me trouble. Okay, in any case, so that was rooms by visit order, rooms by clear order. My visit order and my clear order are going to be almost identical. And then rooms by time spent. This one is just super awesome. So there's continue playing and there's exit to menu. So I think I want to exit to menu because continue playing just leaves me here. And I guess if I had unclear rooms... Oh, and you can go back and take a look at this again. Okay, exit to menu. And so I'm going to go into... Yeah, this music is fine. I was going to turn off the music to talk. No, I do want to turn off the music to talk. So let's turn off the music. Yeah, final thoughts about the game. I've said it before. The engine is amazing. This is... So, let's back up. Leaf's Odyssey. You can buy it to play it as a game, like I just did. And it comes with this campaign called Tower of Destiny. And so you can think of Tower of Destiny as a game, and that is one portion of what Leaf's Odyssey is. Leaf's Odyssey is also an engine that comes with a fantastic level editor that I only showed off a tiny bit of, but like basically, you know, you can just take like any tile and go and place it in here, and we could find the monsters in here somewhere as well, and I could place, you know, some flying snakes down and make a level pretty easily in this level editor. It was surprisingly easy to use. Like, it's got a way that you can do like a flood fill, and so if I wanted to flood fill all of this with blue bricks, I could do stuff like that. It did not take me very long to figure out how to use this editor, and it's pretty great. You can select the music for the room and all kinds of cool things. It's great. Let's, can I not save? Actually, is there a way to, can I undo with the Z key? I had never tried to undo the changes that I made in the level. It doesn't matter. Revert to save. Hey, there we go. Revert all changes since last save. Yes. This was my little room that I made and showed off at one time in the past. Okay. So there's a level editor. I know that there's at least like 2 dungeon campaigns that people other than Alex have made since this game came out. I don't know, a couple months ago or whenever it was. Might have only been a month ago. I've lost track. And I don't intend to play them. So as an engine for people to make other levels, like, I can see this really going places, because just so much of it is solid. Like the core mechanics, let me go back into the level editor. The core mechanics of the game, like the set of 6 monsters that exist that I've talked about, how they're kind of, each one has kind of like 2 unique kind of orthogonal aspects to them or whatever, and then they interact in interesting ways. And a similar thing happens with the mechanisms, which is both good and bad in the case of the mechanisms. It's good because there are relatively a few number of mechanisms. Toggle floors, toggle doors, pressure plates, sacrifice altars, toggle switches, multi-push blocks. There's a couple other mechanisms, aren't there? I feel like there's still a couple other mechanisms, but now I'm not seeing them. Am I lying? Is that really all the mechanisms? Wow. Surprisingly few. That lets you basically gate and interact and intertwine different pieces of the puzzle together. So it gives you a very rich vocabulary as an architect who is trying to make puzzles in this game to put together lots of interesting puzzle rooms, and we've seen lots of them in this campaign. And the keys, like, Alex didn't do it in this campaign, but another game that Alex has played on his channel that I've watched is a game called, I think it's Midnight Mansion or Monster Mansion or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. That has keys that you can unlock, and you can kind of treat things more as exploratory, and you could choose to spend a key here or here, and either branch might get you different places, but treating it more of kind of an adventure exploration game rather than simply gating off which set of puzzles you currently have access to. There are things that people could do in a more adventurous campaign with the keys and locked doors that are available here as well that we didn't really see taken advantage of in this campaign. I really like the way that the warps and the waypoints were set up for fast travel. I like the fact that, let's go ahead and go back into the game. If I go back to continue playing and check out the map. So here's the Tower of Destiny that was like, I don't know, 6 extra things tall or whatever. I like the way that the map works and the fact that things are three-dimensional, and so you can treat it like a Metroidvania. Is very cool, and the mini-map is very effective in terms of helping you see things. You can go back if you want to replay a previous room. This is a preview, and I think there's like a button I can press to replay that room, like just from here, although I don't remember what it is. You can also watch your previous replay, which I did once during the playthrough. It records all of your moves and saves them. You can even go back, like, I showed it off at the beginning of one episode, like, if you quit in the middle of a room and then you come back the next day, like, it not only remembers where you are in the room, but it remembers your undo state, and you can undo through resets, so you can, like, pick up back up seamlessly or whatever. And so all those aspects of the game engine are fantastic. The less fantastic points, in my opinion, were, there were a number of them. One, a lot of the pixel art I find noisy. Like, there's lots of little yellow dots in the grass. There's lots of little yellow dots in the trees. That as I get older, I'm not even 50 yet, but my vision has started to deteriorate over the last few years. And so it gets just kind of blurry and smudged together. And as a result of my own vision, then there's lots of places that I've called out in various places. Hot coals are very red with some noisy texture on them. Bricks are very red with some noisy texture on them. And so discerning the difference between this and this, for example, I really struggled with. Back up on this floor, over here, I'm really struggling. I guess if I do I to get the initial state, right, yes, some of these also, like, in the initial state. I think this might have been intentional, that, like, the poison kind of covers the pressure plate and makes it non-obvious, since you have to realize, how do you kill this guy, and let's do the pressure plate over here or whatever. Like, there's some times where you kind of want to hide something from being obvious at the start of the room. I prefer to be able to see all the mechanics at the start of the room and analyze it. But yeah, then just kind of like the colors, like when the angry eye was on here, like I didn't see that there was a different color than the blue of the water over here. Basically, there's a number of color contrast things that I think aren't great. And overall, in terms of the campaign, I found it very difficult. I looked up, I think, like 6 full answers to puzzles and probably took hints on like 4 more. And so if there's 140 rooms, that's probably like 8% of them or whatever that I didn't solve on my own, which is a higher percentage than most other puzzle games that I have chosen to play on my channel. I have mostly intentionally chosen to play easier puzzle games. I've been aware of a number of games like Steven's Sausage Roll as like a pure puzzle game, or Tunic as a puzzle game but also had action adventure, like hack and slash kind of stuff or whatever. And both its puzzle aspect and its fighting aspect were quite difficult, it looked like to me. And so when I learned a bit about that game, I decided I was just going to prefer to watch other people. There have been a couple other, I can't think of the names of them right now, a couple other difficult puzzle games that I've seen Alex or other people play that I chose not to play because I definitely, in the last few years, have switched from being a completionist gamer to being a gamer for fun. And so when a game's kind of like frustration or time consuming or somethingness or whatever like isn't paying off, like I'm no longer going to say I'm going to figure this puzzle out on my own if it takes me 3 hours. Like I'm like, okay, I've already spent an hour in this room, let's go look up a hint. And so I very much felt that way about this, which is fine. I mean, I still got through the whole campaign and enjoyed it, and I took a few hints and I looked up a few solutions, and that was all fine. But just for calibration purposes, as someone who hasn't played Drod, I found this campaign very difficult. And so I think in terms of the success overall of Leaf's Odyssey as a commercial thing, that Tower of Destiny is the introductory campaign. I think the introductory campaign is too hard. And so I encourage other people who are making campaigns to make easier campaigns. I think if I already knew the mechanics, like part of Tower of Destiny, like it's difficult when you're making the initial campaign because you both want to create a bunch of puzzles as well as you're coming in with the expectation that all the mechanics are new to the player, and so you have to teach the player the mechanics. And so this campaign moved very quickly, in my opinion, trying to teach you all the things and have interesting puzzles. I think it needed to space out the concepts more, or a smaller tutorial campaign before it that gave me some basic familiarity with the monsters and the mechanics or whatever before I jumped into Tower of Destiny could have been better. But basically, I know from watching Drod and the various Drod holds that people make that there's a core community of like hardcore puzzle gamers or whatever who enjoy Drod, and they make harder and typically make harder and harder Drod holds dungeons or whatever for people to play, which they themselves enjoy, but makes an even greater barrier to entry for any new people to find it. And so I just want to say, like, make sure if this game wants to succeed in the long run that there's more easier campaigns made in the future, because I think that will help introduce more new people to the game without pushing them away due to difficulty. And then finally, I've talked at length about it with some rants before or whatever, but just like Drod, the main weakness of this game is the fact that mechanisms are not available on screen until the player explicitly chooses to hover them to learn about the wiring. And there are a variety of puzzles where there are, where's Coliseum? Lots and lots and lots of mechanisms. And so the player is already going to be struggling to kind of keep up with the memory task of learning how all of these things are connected to the various toggle switches and pressure plates and toggle doors and whatnot. The viewer of a Let's Play is going to struggle even more, because while the player, if they forget what this is connected to, they can go and highlight it. If someone's watching the Let's Play and they missed when the player highlighted it 5 minutes ago, like, there's no way for them to recall what it is unless the Let's Player calls it out again. And while it is only partially the case that players who are watching the Let's Play are trying to follow along and solve the puzzles themselves, to the extent that that's true, like, these invisible wiring mechanisms really get in the way of that. And I don't know how to solve that. But if there is a way to make that more transparent somehow, I think that would be to the benefit of this game and Drod and other things like that. And I don't know the answer, but that is one of the major drawbacks I've had to when I've been trying to watch other people play Drod in the past. And Leaf's Odyssey, I've only watched a couple people play it so far, and the rooms are fresh in my head when I've gone back and watched them play it, and so I don't have a sense of how I would struggle to keep up when I start watching them play a new campaign that I'm unfamiliar with, trying to understand the mechanisms as a viewer of someone else's Let's Play. Okay, I think I've said enough about that. But yeah, Alex, congratulations. There is much to be very proud of here in terms of the set of mechanics and mechanisms that you have invented and chosen to put together, as well as the overall structure of the campaign, as well as just a fantastic engine. And yeah, I mean, even at the end, like I was only realizing some of the advanced settings. Um, and I don't know if I mentioned it anywhere or whatever, but like this game was an incredibly tiny download. Like games on Steam these days, like, like you download a game and it's like, oh, it's going to take 1.2 terabytes of cloud storage, like, something ridiculous. And this game is tiny because I guess Alex writes in C. And yeah. And okay, so I said a bunch of stuff. I don't know that I covered everything that I wanted to say, but I said most of it. So congratulations, Alex, on this game. And I look forward to watching some more campaigns. And maybe if there are some easier campaigns that come out in the future, I myself will return to this and play some more. But I have a feeling some of the new ones that people have made are probably on the harder side. I don't know. I should go check that out. I shouldn't just make an assumption there. And I don't remember if I ever did this about... I don't think I ever brought this up. All right, programming, puzzles, graphics, sound effects, and music. The music was good. There were a couple of musics in the second stage, the Slug Marsh, and in the final Destiny Tower that were very fast-paced. And I didn't show it on camera, but a couple times when I was doing stuff off camera in puzzles, I turned the music off because I just couldn't think because the music was so intense and fast-paced. Puzzle music, I think it generally more relaxed, like tends to be better. But for the most part, the music was good and I liked it. Playtesting, I know a number of these people through online stuff. So thank you for playtesting the game. I chose not to playtest the game because I figured it was going to be a hard Drod style game and I wanted other people to find the impossible rooms first. So I waited until release to play it. Special thanks. I recognize a couple of names in there too. Thanks to Deadly Rooms of Death, Explorer, No Anglerfish, and Terrier for inspiration. And so I've watched Alex play all of those games on Alex's channel. Yeah. All right. Okay. I think that's all I have to say about this game. Look forward to something else in the future. And I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day. For now, bye-bye.